can't take it to 10.
How fit to be the boss? Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now.
All right, Coach, thanks. We are across the Cumberland River from downtown Nashville at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. The whole of downtown Nashville likely still reverberating with the sounds of the Titans taking the field a moment ago. They're ready for football as their Titans are set to match up with Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Now a first-time 1,000-yard rusher from a season ago, it's Derrick Henry. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Levante David. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. At the 24-yard line. Following the interception, Winston letting one, and Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes can work as well.
On 2nd and 12, Mariota. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
A first down throw for Mariota. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Chandler Jones in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Throwing, Mariota. Flushed out right. And complete to the tight end Walker, right side. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
I like the design of that play, or shall I say the way it ended up. Quarterback ends up to the right side. You know, he gets outside of the pocket. How about the tight end staying in his sight line and getting to that same part of the field, and they find each other for the completion.
On 3rd down, Mariota. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's the AFC Pro Bowl punter the last 2 years. That's Brett Kern to kick it for Tennessee, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. He's got Evans. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Wesley Woodyard. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Following the interception here, Mariota. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 1st down, Titans, gain of 12.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, Hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Wesley Woodyard, he does a little bit of everything, and this time he gets the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
59, mark, 59, mark, check, 59. Tight down, there you go. Check 59, right?
Off the play fake, Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. Bear in mind they had 2 interceptions last week, but that was in 4 quarters. They've got 2 here in the first quarter alone.
And the unsung people in this streak, the pass rushers, because most of the time, they're the ones that affect things in the pocket for a quarterback, trying to throw the football, rushing them, getting them off their spot, harassing them, and that allows the defensive backs, the linebackers, to swoop in and make the picks downfield.
And they're swooping.
At the 15-yard line.
After one, ready for the second quarter from Tennessee, and it's the homestanding Titans in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. Chandler Jones racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Mariota will need a big play after the sack as the Titans come up 3rd and long. From the gun, Mariota. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Ndamukong Suh. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Let's go, boys, bring it up.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From the 29, Winston looking downfield for Godwin. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Jameis to throw it. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Here we go, Pete, get off the field. Watch safety three.
Jameis now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daquan Jones fighting his way home to get the sack.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Check, 59.
Throwing, Winston. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working out of the gun, Winston. And, Jameis intercepted a third time. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Eluding the pressure right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. And there we saw rolling right out of the pocket. Maybe his momentum taking him toward that sideline led him a little too far.
Yeah, that is difficult, isn't it? Plus, you're closing down your space, right? You're shortening the field for your receivers. And their inclination is to go towards the sidelines as fast as the quarterback is as well. Hard for them to throttle down and leave themselves with enough room to stay in bounds and catch the ball.
It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Mariota now. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Devin White coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Mariota. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw Mariota. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Ready.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Check. Lucky. Check 52. 6 count.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Logan Ryan on the tackle. A 7-yard pickup.
2 minutes to play in his first half. 7-3 our score. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying. Now Howard stripped. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And there he goes, right side. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. Extra point put through by Succop, and the lead is now 10-7. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
23 yards on the play. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Play fake. Winston. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That one good for 26 and a first down. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. To the air again with Winston. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 39.
And with the Buccaneers' new coaching staff, you have to figure they're going to want to use O.J. Howard a little bit more this season. 34 catches, 565 yards last year, but that was in only 10 games. 6'6", 251, and can run. Find a way to get him the ball as they just did there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Winston. Oh, he's thinking end zone for Evans. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
They'll throw again. Winston. Oh, he's thinking end zone for Evans. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, it's Winston. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Howard. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Winston now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Winston. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
But he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Draw play. Winston to Jones. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw, Winston. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard as the first half is winding down. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans.
Let's go!
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go. Watch twist. Watch twist.
Hey, let's get it for
Final play of the half here. Winston. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Running with Howard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
I'm coming. Mike 5'9", Let's go, D.
From the gun, Winston. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain of 22.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Now a first down carry by Jones. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Winston now from the 50. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Mariota. They'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
I'm going back to you.
Off play action to Henry. Here's Mariota. Flush to his right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mariota, and he'll hit his tight end, Walker. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on third down. Mariota. And right side, Henry's got it. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 23, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. They go play action. Winston airing this one out for Evans. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Gay is on for the point after. It's good, and it's 21-10. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
First and 10 at the 40.
Mariota now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Watch the shit. Three. Get wide. Right there.
Now it's a bootleg with Mariota. He'll buy some time right. Now he's going to throw deep right. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30. On the NFL scoreboard, they are in the 3rd now in New Orleans. And the Cardinals continuing to surge. They've scored again. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Throwing is Mariota. That's complete right around the 8. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Delaney Walker, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They'll throw again. Mariota Escaping, fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff.
The Bucs take over first at their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Jameis to throw it. Flushed out right. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the first down with his legs. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too. And you saw his legs, tree trunks sprayed in to those baseball pants. I said, how could anybody bring this guy down?
And that's part of the beauty of his game because he has that toughness, that thick body. He may not beat you sprinting, but he's real sharp with his mind, and he knows how to get away from people.
The first down throw for Winston. Over the middle, complete. It's Howard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Jameis now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On the give, running right is Howard. And he's got room. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor, or is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
First down, Winston. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. On the delay, it's Howard. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Ready? 125. 54. Yeah, let's get that ball. Yeah, let's get that ball right here. Check. Here we go. Even.
Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Jameis Winston with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Mariota on first down. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing, Mariota. Ball going deep here for Taylor. And that's caught inside the 30. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 35.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 12, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
You don't want no. Follow.
They go back to the ground, this time Barber. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Black 25. Check. With the 9. Watch the screen. Where we go? Watch the screen.
On 3rd down, Winston. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Fielded just inside the 20. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and it'll be Titan football. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And in enemy territory last time through the intercept. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. Dion Lewis, he's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, and hold everything here. This one is not over yet. They return it for the touchdown.
They continue to fight, don't they?
Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Elsewhere in the NFL, they're in the 4th down in New Orleans. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they indeed win, it would be win number 9 on the season. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run.
Slam, flip it. Wait. 54. Hey, thump.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Again, it's Jones. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
They'll look to throw, and that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Good coverage that time by Sean Bunting.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now Mariota. Dancing to his left. And they can't bring him down. Mariota had an 87-yard run as a rookie. This one a bit less, but it is a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
They'll get this complete to Batson. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
Blue 18, red 18. Let's go. Tight go.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Chandler Jones in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Chandler Jones, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough. Trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for the Buccaneers, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Titans, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.